What's up, everybody? This is Jose with Oakland Latinos Unidos, aka Oakland Latinos United, on here again with a new video for you guys to enjoy. So, the video I want to make today is about an incident that happened at a grocery outlet in Oakland on Broadway, which is the one on downtown Oakland. Those of you who don't know what grocery outlet is, in the Bay Area, there's a store called Grocery Outlet, and they're kind of like a discount chain of stores that sells brand names at a discount price. And this is where this incident happened. And basically, the reason I'm showing this is because the incident was of a elderly, looks like an elderly African American couple were going at it with a Mexican couple, particularly with the wife of this couple and the wife of the Mexican couple. And I was watching another video by a guy named Zenny62. Check him out on YouTube. He's a local African American YouTuber who does different videos. And he interviewed the girl in question, or the woman in question. And apparently it looks like she's uh, Mexican or Chicana, Mexican American or Chicana, whatever you want to call it. And she's from Oakland, and she's, I believe, disabled from what I heard in the video. And she's in a wheelchair. So not only was this guy arguing with a Chicana woman, but a Chicana woman who was, or Latina, Mexicana, whatever you want to call it. Let's just say Chicana. But he was arguing with one that was in a wheelchair. So, yeah, I mean, this dude was acting like a bully according to what I'm seeing. But I'm going to show you part of the video in question. Looks like her name was Lupe Loera, from what I'm reading over here. And, like I said, this happened at Grocery Outlet. I guess she was speaking Spanish. From what I know, she was speaking Spanish to her husband in the line. And apparently, I guess it's African American man told her not to speak Spanish and speak English. This is America. And I guess he went on some rant about he's gonna call the ICE and Trump, and she confronted his ass. So the video I'm about to show you is of the confrontation. Good for her for standing up. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna talk about this in a little bit more detail and about my 2 cents on it. So let's go.
This now, you know that? It's not free to be racist anymore. I can speak Spanish wherever I want. And next time, what a very, oh my God, kind of husband you have. You know, next time you're not going to be facing a woman. If you face a man and you tell him that, he will beat your ass. I am suggesting to you to stop being a racist. That's what you need. Okay? Just because this is... No. Don't think that racism is good now. Don't think that it's okay. Don't think that you can do it now. You don't have permission to do it. You do not have permission. So next time, stay out of a conversation that's not between you. It was in Spanish because nobody was talking to your ass. I'm not talking to you. I don't know who you are. I am not talking to you. You can stay out of it. I'm talking to that person over there. That person over there. Okay? No, I'm just making sure that you get posted that you don't like Mexicans speaking Spanish to each other because you don't understand them. Oh, you want to give me the finger? Yeah, after you threatening to beat me? Okay. If you touch me, you go to jail. You go to jail. You go to jail. So even him. So I'm not getting in between me and you're. I'm not talking to you, but you're gonna talk shit about my husband. Nobody was talking to you. You are not gonna talk about my husband. You are not gonna talk about my husband, because you know who has a piece of shit husband? You do. You have the racist piece of shit right there. You do. So how about you educate your man to be a little bit more manly and grow some fucking balls? Jesus. No, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. What you gonna do? Come on then. Come on. What you gonna do? Take off. No, you back up. He's doing this to a woman. You see that? I'm sorry, ma'am. Does he also beat you? Is that the type of...
Okay, so the video kind of keeps going on, but I want to give my 2 cents about it. And I want to just say how ignorant this type of behavior is coming from some African Americans. And again, this is not to say all African Americans are like this, and I'm not pointing a finger at nobody, but it is ignorant behavior that sometimes comes from African American people, unfortunately. Well, apparently, from what I heard in another video, she was in a wheelchair, the Mexican girl, or Chicana, and she was in line with her husband at the grocery outlet in Oakland on Broadway, like I said. And apparently this man got aggressive and told him not to speak Spanish, to speak English. This is America. I'm going to call Trump. I'm going to call ICE and all kinds of dumb shit that he's probably not going to do, but just being just a dickhead. And she went off on him, I guess. And I guess she claims that he got aggressive and was trying to, like, be abusive to her, I guess. And she stood up to him, and good. I'm glad she stood up to him, because you need to stand up to anybody that acts like that with you. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Asian, or even if they're other Latinos. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. But my thing is, when African Americans act racist towards us or want to be xenophobic and want to be prejudiced and just nasty towards us, I mean, that's just fucking stupid. Because for one, we're not the people that oppress you or have oppressed you. You know what I mean? And we're being oppressed and we're going through our own shit just as well. We're living in fucked up communities. We're living in poverty. We're fighting for survival. We're called illegal aliens and wetbacks by everybody. And people generally look at us low the same way they look at you. You know, we're all victims of colonialism in one way or another. So it's stupid for POC or people of color to be fighting each other over something retarded. And it's stupid for African Americans to be using white supremacist lingo like don't speak your language, speak English, to another person of color, because there are plenty of black people who speak Spanish. Most Latin countries have large numbers of black people, just so you know. And to top it off, English is not your language either. It's not my language. It's not a black language, nor is Spanish. Spanish is not the language of Mexico. A little education for y'all. Spanish is a language from Spain. English is a language from England. Both European white languages, colonial settler language that were forced upon us. My ancestors did not speak Spanish, nor did they speak English. My ancient ancestors spoke Maya, Aztec, Nahuatl, you know what I mean? Tarahumara, Yaqui, you know what I mean? Purepecha, and so many others, you know what I mean? Until the Spanish came here and forced that language upon us. No different than the Africans who were speaking their own languages, like Bantu languages, like Yoruba, like Igbo, like so many others that they spoke in West Africa and Africa itself, until they were forced by colonial powers to speak English. So those aren't our motherfucking languages. You know what I mean? And, you know, I don't know if that black dude was having a bad day. Maybe he's not racist. Maybe he doesn't have hatred attitude towards Mexicans. Maybe he was just having a bad day and he took it out on this girl because she's seen her as a innocent, well, not an innocent, but an easy target. You know what I mean? Of his frustration. And that's being a bully. You know? And, you know, the same thing like when Latinos or Mexicans act racist towards blacks. I don't like that shit either, and I call it out as well because I think it's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. That's all it is. It's stupidity. It's people of color using white supremacist narratives, which is fucking stupid. Why would people of color claim they hate the oppressor so much, but yet want to be like the oppressor? That makes no sense to me. And the reason I have this up is because English is not even the official language of the United States. English is the de facto language of the United States, but it's not the official language. And California, Texas, New Mexico, Nevada, Colorado, Arizona were all part of Mexico at one point. And Spanish has been spoken in those lands since before there was even a United States. So why I don't understand this whole anti-Spanish thing if we border hella countries that speak Spanish. Like they speak Spanish literally from Mexico all the way to Argentina, except for Brazil where they speak Portuguese. You know what I mean? So I don't understand this whole anti-Spanish thing. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's stupid that we're fighting over one white language over another white language because they're both white European languages. The only difference with Spanish is that Spanish, because of the Moors who invaded Spain, has Arabic and North African influences. That is true about Spanish. That would be the only difference with Spanish and English. But they're both, even English comes from the Latin language, as does Spanish and Portuguese and so many others. And English also has Germanic languages as well. But it's just stupid. Me personally, I've had more African Americans tell me not to speak Spanish than I have white people, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I've encountered more African Americans telling me, "Don't speak Spanish, speak English." You know what I mean? And I remember one time this black person said, "Oh, maybe, how do I know you're not talking shit about motherfucker? I'm not talking shit about you. If I'm gonna talk shit about you, I'm gonna tell you in English." You know what I mean? Stop. That's an insecurity. If you think someone is automatically speaking shit about you because they're talking in another language, then that means you're an insecure person. And you need to check your insecurity instead of projecting it on other people. Because if you act like a dickhead, it doesn't matter what race you are. People are going to talk shit about you and not like you. And that's just how it is. So you need to check yourself. You know what I mean? But to me, this is stupid. You know what I mean? It's stupid for people of color to be fighting each other over dumb, stupid white supremacist narratives. And I just hope we as a people, as Chicanos, Raza, and black people, can really get over this nonsense. Because it makes us look like ignorant fools. It really does. And on this part, it was the African American guy who started it in this incident. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to let my people off the hook, because my people say stupid shit too. And racist and xenophobic shit against other races and people. So I'm not letting my people off the hook either. But at the end of the day, to my white brothers, my black brothers, my Asian brothers and sisters, you're in California. I don't give a fuck if you're in Oakland. I don't give a fuck if you're in Compton. I don't give a fuck if you're in Sacramento. I don't care where you're at. You're in California. California used to be part of Mexico. Oakland used to be Rancho San Antonio when it was part of Mexico. And before that, it was part of the indigenous Ohlone people. Mexicans have been in California and in the Bay Area and in Oakland since day one. We're not going anywhere. We're not leaving. We're here to stay. And if you don't like it, then I suggest you move, because California is the wrong fucking state to live in. You know what I mean? Because we've always been here. There's no such thing as a place in California that doesn't have Mexicans or some kind of Latinos. I haven't heard of that fairy tale city yet. If you know it, point it out. But we're here to stay and we ain't going nowhere. So get used to it. And that's all I could really say. Even if you're in Oakland. I know people think that Oakland's only a black city, but Raza, we've been here forever. I grew up in Oakland. We were always around Fruitvale and East Oakland. You know what I mean? Even in spite of the city being a predominantly black city, we were always here. We're always going to be here. And we're not going nowhere. And we're always going to speak Spanish or English or whatever, or Calo or Chicano slang or whatever fucking thing we're going to speak. I don't tell you not to speak Ebonics. You know what I mean? When I'm in line and you're all talking Ebonics and cussing and shit, you don't hear me saying nothing. Speak whatever the fuck you want to speak. You know what I mean? And that's how it is. I just think we need to learn to live together, and we need to learn how to get along, and we got to stop with the ignorance and stupidity. And I'm going to speak whatever language I want to speak. I speak Spanish, hablo español, y hablo inglés. I speak English as well, and that's how it is. And there's not a goddamn thing you're going to do about it, and I dare you to tell me not to speak Spanish in public. See what happens. Oh, and like I said before, what Gil, American Cholo, said, I'm not going to be your wetback. I'm not going to be your fucking little meek Mexican talking about, sí, señor, it's okay. Give me my beer and my paycheck and you can talk shit to me and I'm not going to say nothing. Fuck that. You know what I mean? I am not going to be your little Mexican. So you can fucking forget about that one. But this is Jose with Oakland Latinos United.